Hello, I'm Jab from Cricut Maker Crafts. First of all, thank you so much for signing up for this video. It means a lot to me. So I know you just got your Cricut and you have just started crafting with it and you're wondering what on earth are these SVGs, right? Don't worry, in this video, I'm gonna tell you every single thing about SVGs. We're gonna learn what SVGs are, and I'm also gonna tell you the difference between SVGs and other type of images. I'm gonna show you how to download SVGs and how to use them. And finally, we're gonna learn how to turn any image into an SVG file to use with your Cricut. So let's get started.
So what are SVGs? SVGs actually stand for Scalable Vector Graphics. These are vector-based 2D images that can easily be manipulated and animated. The best thing about SVGs is they are small in size, which makes them easy to store and share. Here are some examples of how SVGs can be created and transformed into 3D projects. This is an SVG I created for a mini wallet that I cut using my Cricut Maker. And here's an SVG file for a 3D pumpkin card. This is a real example of how 2D images are used to create 3D objects. How cool is that? Before we move further, I'd like to point out one really important thing. SVGs are not the same as PNGs. A lot of time people share files with white background and several different colors wanting to cut each color separately. Well, it's not possible to do that because the images are in PNG or JPEG format, which is completely different to the SVG format. The only way to get all these colors is by using the print and cut feature instead of getting them layered into multiple layers. We'll talk more about that in the future videos. One way to find out if the file is a PNG or an SVG is by checking out what it looks like on your computer. The SVG files will have the browser icons such as Google Chrome, Firefox, or Internet Explorer, like you can see in the top row shown in this image, or it might not have any icon because there are no software present on your computer to open the file. However, PNG or JPEG files will look like images as seen in the second row. Now that you know the difference between SVG and PNG files, let's look at the different places from where you can get SVGs for your project.
The first place to find loads of SVGs is the Cricut Maker Crafts VIP library. Here you'll find several different SVGs, especially designed for beginners to work with. So if you have just signed up for the list, look for the link for the VIP library in the email that you received after signing up. And the link is also included in the weekly newsletters that I sent to everyone on my list.
The second place to get loads of SVGs is Cricut Design Space. Click on any image that you like in the Design Space library and add it to your mat to work with. If you're looking for a particular image for your project, you can use the search bar to search for the image by typing in the keyword and just clicking enter. Once you click enter, you'll find all of these images related to your keyword, and you can just click on any image that you like and then click on insert images to get the image on your canvas. Other places to find SVGs is on different websites that offer free SVGs for everyone to use. One thing to remember is that the images found on Google search are not SVGs. These images are either in PNG format or JPEG format like I showed you earlier. Now that you know where to find SVGs, let's look at how to download the SVG files and save them on your computer. Since I do not have any Apple device, I wasn't able to include the tutorials on how to download and upload SVGs on a Mac, iPhone, or an iPad. However, I found videos on this topic by other crafters and I've included them separately below this video. So if you have any of the Apple devices, make sure you check out the additional videos once you have watched this video completely. Now let me show you how to download your SVGs on a Chrome browser. So open up your Chrome browser, and go to the Ninja Jav Crafts VIP library. The link is given in the emails that I sent you girls and guys. So I usually use Chrome for all my browsing and everything on my computer because this is the most user-friendly, and also this is the browser recommended by Cricut. So you can use this browser on both Windows and Mac and even on your iPhone or your Android phones. So go ahead and visit the link and open up the VIP library. Right now I'm in the library and I'm in the fall SVGs folder. I'm gonna download one of the SVGs from here in RAR format, which is a zipped folder, which you can see over here at the bottom of the screen. So sometimes designers pack up all the different versions of files into a zip file so that it's easier to categorize and organize stuff. So sometimes you might see the files in this format. And at other times, you can find the files in simple SVG format like these. So these are plain SVGs. They're not grouped together in a zipped file. So let's start with downloading and saving the zipped file. So once you go to the library, just click on it and right click on it and click the download option from the menu. This will now start downloading your file, and your file usually gets saved in the downloads folder on your computer. And once the file starts downloading, you will see it at the bottom of your browser, as you can see over here. So once downloaded, you can click on this arrow and you can either click on open or show in folder. So let's see what it looks like in the folder. So I'm in my downloads folder with a bunch of huge number of graphics over here. So as you can see, so inside your downloads folder, you're gonna find your file, which looks like this if you have the archiving software installed, which is called WinRAR. If you do not have WinRAR or any other archiving software, your file is gonna look like this. Now let's look at how to download SVGs on Internet Explorer. So let me just open up Explorer, which is now called Microsoft Edge. And let's go to the VIP library by copying the link over here. So here we are on the VIP library in the Microsoft Edge browser. So let's look for the file and try to download it. So here's the file, the zip file that we downloaded earlier. And as you can see, there's a small arrow over here, which you can click on to download and save the file on your computer. So once you click on it, a new box will pop up at the bottom and it will ask you to either open or save. So click on save. And now it says that the file has been downloaded. Now you can go ahead and look for it by clicking on view downloads. And there you go, the file is now in the downloads folder, and you can just click on open folder to go to your folder where your file is now saved. So as you can see, there's fall SVGs bracket 1, so that means it's the same file which was downloaded earlier. Now let's look at how to download and save the file using the Firefox browser on Windows. So here I am in the Ninja Jav Crafts VIP library in the fall SVGs folder, and here is the file. So this is a zip file, which means it contains all the different formats of graphics grouped together in one folder. Once you hover on the file, you'll see this downward facing arrow. Just click on it to download the file, and it's going to ask you what to do next. So just click on save file, and if you want you can check mark this box and click on OK. And to check if your file is downloaded or not, click on this downward facing arrow at the top right corner, and it will show you all the files that you have downloaded in this section. To open the file, just click on the file name over here, and to open up the folder containing the file, just click on the folder icon at the right hand side. So once I click on the folder, it takes us to our downloads folder where we downloaded the file, and you can see it over here. Now let's look at how to unzip and use the images in the zipped folder. So after downloading, your folder is going to appear in the download section of your computer. For Windows, usually it's the downloads folder, but if you can't find the folder, you can always click on the browser, and for Firefox, you can just click on this folder icon like I showed you earlier. For Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge, you can always click on downloads, and it will show you, box will pop up with the option to go to the folder by clicking on open folder. And on Chrome, all your downloads are going to appear at the bottom section of the browser. You can also access the downloads by clicking on downloads, by clicking on this settings option at the right hand corner and going to downloads from here. So here are all the downloaded files, and you can just click on show in folder to go to the folder. Alright, so once your file is downloaded in the folder, it's now time to unzip the file. So your file is either gonna look like this. So I'm using an archiving software called WinRAR, which is why my file appears like this. However, if you don't have the software, your file is gonna appear something like this. No matter what the file looks like, just right click on the file and click on extract files. You'll then see this new box pop up asking you where to save the file, and I'm just going to leave it as it is and save the file in the downloads folder and click on OK. So the file has now unzipped itself, and now I can access all the contents inside the file. And as I mentioned earlier, there are two different types of files here. We have the PNG format, and then we have the SVG format. So like I mentioned earlier, the PNGs are gonna appear as proper images, but the SVGs might have the icons of your internet browser. So I use Chrome, so my computer is set to use Chrome, which is why all my SVGs have the Chrome icon. If you double click on the SVG, it will take you to the Chrome browser. Over here, you cannot actually work with the file. You can only view it. If you have any illustration software installed, the computer might prompt you to open it up with that illustration software, but that's not what we want. To work with the SVG, we need to open this file with a software that supports SVGs, which is Design Space. And I'm going to show you how to use it, how to upload this SVG file on Design Space and work with it in just a couple of seconds. Now let's look at how to upload the files on Design Space so that you can work with them. So go to design.cricut.com, or you can also download and install the offline version of Design Space. So once you're on Design Space, just click on new project. You can either click on it from this top right hand side, or you can just click on new project from here, the left hand side. You'll then end up on the canvas. Now, when you're on the canvas, click on upload, which is at the bottom left hand side. Now click on upload image. Click on browse to look for the image. So go to your downloads folder where you downloaded the zip folder and look for the SVG file. Now we do not upload the zipped file because it won't be recognized. Extract the files from the folder following the steps that I showed you earlier, and then upload the SVG file by double clicking on it. So after uploading, this is what it's gonna look like. Go ahead and give a proper name so that you can easily search for it later on, and add tags if you want. You can add tags like paper craft or holiday project or fall or something like that, which will help you in finding the file later on. Now just click on save, and the file should now pop up on your image library. Just click on the image and then click on insert images. Now sometimes you might get several different files together. To add 2 different files together, what you can do is click on upload image, click on browse, then click on the second file to upload it, click on save, add your tags, then click on save, and press Control or Command on your computer and click on the other file. So now we have 2 files selected, and you can see the selected files at the bottom of the panel over here. If you want to deselect any files, you can just do it from the bottom of the screen over here as well. So right now we want to select both the files, so I'm just going to keep it as it is, and I'm going to click on insert images. So it's going to take a few seconds to load the file. All right, the files are now on Design Space. That means we can start working with them. So there are lots of other steps involved before you can start cutting out these files, and I'm going to talk all about it in the next video in this series. So once you upload an SVG file on Design Space, you'll see in the layers panel all these different layers. Each element of the graphic has its own layer, which means you can easily customize each and every single element and cut it out separately. So this is the specialty about SVGs. They are available in different layers, easily customizable. A lot of time people have this question that when they are uploading a certain image, they are not able to change the colors. So let me just grab one of the images and show you. So I'm just gonna go to upload image, and I'm gonna look for a special image, which is the PNG file and not an SVG. And after uploading, you can see there's no background, and we have all of these choices to choose the type of color. So I'm gonna go with simple for now, and let's click on continue. Continue again. And now I have the option to either save this file as print and cut, which means if I want to get all these colors, then I would have to save it as print and cut. And if I don't want these colors, I have to save them as cut image. So let me show you what happens when I save it as a cut image. So here is the PNG file on the canvas, and notice how on the right hand side panel we just have one layer, as opposed to when I uploaded the SVG file, which was divided into several different layers. So this is the difference between a PNG and an SVG file. So I cannot modify each of these colors, each of these elements individually if I upload a PNG file. So for each of the elements to be modified separately, I need to upload an SVG file. So make sure you take a note of this. Now let's look at how to download the file on an Android. Alright, so here I am in the VIP library on my phone, on my Android phone, and I'm going to show you how to download and work with a zipped SVG file on your phone, on your Android phone. So go ahead. So right now I'm in the VIP library, and here is the zip file which contains the SVG. So I'm just going to click on the three dots and click on the download option given over here. So I'm just going to wait for it to download, and it looks like it's all done. So let's click on the file and go to the folder where it's saved. So here is the file on the right hand side, top right hand side, as well as on the top left hand side. So these are the two files that I downloaded. So when you click on the file, you'll get this pop-up box asking you to install an app to use with the file. So just click on search, and it will take you to this app, RAR Lab. So this app is already installed on my phone to open up zip file. So I'm just so go ahead and install this app on your phone as well. So once installed, click on open, and you will end up on this screen. So go ahead and click on downloads and scroll down till you see your file. So this is the file. I'm just going to click on it and select all of these files. Select all of these files and click on this icon which says up one. So it will tell you that it's going to create a new folder. This time the folder is going to call Fall SVGs. Just click on OK. And there you go. All of the files have been extracted. Now, next go to the Design Space app. Click on New Project and click on Upload. Select Photo from Library, and you'll see all the folders in the download section. So click on, so this is the folder, the Fall SVGs-1. This is the folder that we just created. So click on it and you'll find all of the files stored in the folder over here. So we're going to work with the SVG file, and the last two ones over here are the SVG files. So just click on one of those and it will be imported on Design Space. Make sure you name it. So this is the pumpkin card, and let me just write it here. All right, all done. Now just click on Save. Tap on the image that you just imported and then click on Insert at the bottom right. And there you go. Your image is now on Design Space canvas. Now let's look at the different ways you can create your own SVGs. There are two different ways to create your own SVGs. Number one is by converting an existing JPEG or PNG image into an SVG. This is a quick fix method and not very practical if you really want to use your creativity to its full potential, because you are limited by what the image has to offer. The other downside of this method is that it can get you into copyright issues if you use images from Google for your business. The other and by far the best method of creating your own SVGs is by using a software. This will give you a complete creative freedom along with images that are of superb quality. Also, you get to own the rights to the artwork that you create, meaning no troubles at all. The other benefits of creating your own SVGs is that you can sell these SVGs, plus once you know how to design SVGs, you can save a ton of dollars as you won't have to buy every single SVG. So how do you convert existing images to SVGs? Well, you can do this through two different ways. First, by using a conversion website, such as PNG to SVG, and second, by using Inkscape. Here's a quick tutorial on how to change a PNG to SVG using the popular website PNG to SVG. There are several different websites available on the internet that allow you to convert any image into an SVG. The website that I found gave the best result was PNG to SVG. This is a completely free website that you can use to turn a PNG or a JPG image into an SVG to use with Design Space. All you gotta do is go to the website, scroll down, upload an image, and then it's gonna turn it into an SVG. So let's look for a PNG file that we can turn into an SVG. So my favorite website to get free images is pixabay.com. One thing I'd like to point out here is the images found on Google. For example, if you just Google if you just search for an image on Google and you find something like this, and you would like to use it for your projects, then keep in mind that these images are sometimes not free. That means images may be subject to copyright. That means that if you're gonna use this for business purpose, you're actually committing a crime by using someone else's copyrighted stuff. And they can, if they find out, they can come and get you for using their stuff for business purposes without getting the commercial license. So never ever use images off Google if you want to stay safe. It's very rare, but it has happened to people and they have gotten into some real trouble, paying like $100,000 in fines. So just to be safe, don't use images straight off Google if you're gonna use it for your business. Best place to find free images with commercial license is pixabay.com. Just go to the website and look for the image. So if you want to clip art, you can go to this drop down icon and look for illustrations. And the website will give you a huge list of different images, and you can just download any of the image that you found here. So let me look for a simple PNG file. So this looks like a good file to work with. This one's a cute one, so let me just have a look at this. Now I can just click on the free download option and download this PNG file. You can actually set up an account on this website so you don't have to go through all this hassle. So right now this file is in PNG format. That means it's just one layer. We need to convert it into SVG format so that we can work on different layers. So go to png to svg.com, scroll down and go to this box over here, choose a file, click on choose a file and locate the file on your computer, double click to upload it. And now it will give you an option to choose the number of colors that you would like on your new file. So I'm gonna leave it as 5 colors and I'm just gonna click on generate over here. Alright, so my file is now ready, and you might have noticed some of this stuff are missing because I just chose 5 colors. So the belt is brown over here and red over here. The stockings are gray or dark green, but over here it's all green in color and the nose is missing. So it's totally up to you how many colors you want your SVG to be. So once you're happy, just click on download SVG and it's gonna get saved on your computer. And then you can go to design space and upload this SVG and start working with it. Alright, so my image is now ready, and as you can see on the right hand side panel, we now have several different layers to work with. But as you might have noticed, now let me just ungroup this thing and show you one thing over here. The images haven't really come out perfect. There are some, as you can see, there's some tiny dots over here which are not clean. So I would say that the images don't turn out clean. So this is the problem when you're trying to convert an image into a PNG rather than creating something on your own. Like I mentioned earlier, you end up having images that are with horrible quality, as you can see over here. If you're working on a personal project that you're just making to give as gifts or to use yourself, you can just go ahead and use this method, the easy quick fix method. However, if you want to create something from scratch for your business, it's best to just learn to create your own SVGs so that it gives you flexibility. Now let's have a look at all the different software you can use to create your own SVGs. For desktop, you have 3 popular choices of software, which are Adobe Illustrator, Affinity Designer, and Inkscape. For iPads, the most popular software is Procreate, but you can also use the iPad versions of Affinity and Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Illustrator is the most widely used software for creating SVGs and other design files. However, it's only available for a monthly subscription fee of $19.99, which can get quite pricey, especially when you're just starting out and have zero investment budget. As a student, I could not afford this software, so after hours of research, I found Affinity Designer, a software quite similar to Adobe, and have stuck with it since forever. The cost of Affinity is around $49.99 US, and the best part is it's a one-off purchase. I've been using this software since 2014. It has all the functionalities of Adobe, so I have never had any issues with it. I've used this software to create numerous back-sewing patterns and graphics for my business, and here are some of the examples. Inkscape, on the other hand, is a completely free software and is great for some basic designing and SVG creation. For example, when you'd like to trace an image or create text shadows. If you'd like to stick to basic SVG creation and you're tight on the budget, you can opt for Inkscape. So that was all about the different software out there for creating your own SVGs that you can use to make projects that reflect your style and creativity. In my course, SVG Superstar, I'll be showing you how to create SVGs using Affinity Designer as well as Inkscape. If you'd like to learn the step-by-step procedure for creating your own SVGs that you can sell and use personally, then stay tuned for the launch of my course, SVG Superstar. There will be a special early bird price, so keep an eye on my emails for the announcement on when the course doors open for enrollment. Alright, so that was all about SVGs. I hope you enjoyed this video training. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me via Instagram or via email at cricketmakercrafts@gmail.com. I'll now see you in the newsletter with lots of new Cricut videos and tips. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.